Jay, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
this film.
Yes.
A pleasant surprise. Knew it was a comedy, but didn't know how funny it was going to
Oh,
be,
good,
and I think
cool.
everybody at the screening really enjoyed it.
Oh,
So,
good news.
yeah, congrats.
Awesome.
Fun story. Don't you think that as a teenager, we all think we can rule the world?
Oh, that's exactly it.
I mean, nothing happens to us. Like, did you know that you were destined for greatness?
Oh yeah, no, but that's probably because my mother told me when I was born she saw a golden aura around me. that infects your brain and makes you try to be really good at stuff. But no, that's kind of what this movie. It's a love letter to many things, not the least of which is that kind of super crazy earnest passion you have when you're a teenager, and you were going to set the world to rights, and you were going to accomplish so much, and but that's before all the Woodstock people take jobs in the Fortune 500. But like I think that yeah, it's from those life and death years between 15 and 18 where everything matters more than it ever has and more than it ever will.
Good time in some respect, but
Yeah.
this character Leon, he's a quirky guy.
Yeah.
How did you get on board with this? Like when you read this script?
Well, it's he talks in such a specific way, and that's how Jacob wrote him. And so basically, I really had to just say what Jacob wrote. The key to me was like making him likable and somewhat sympathetic. And I felt like we could accomplish so much more if the audience was rooting for him. The audience has to kind of root for him, and he's such a bizarre dude that there's a way you could do it so that the audience doesn't find him likable at all. So my job was just trying to make him sympathetic and real, and ideally, if there was any spot for it, try to find some spots for jokes and little bits of physical comedy and such.
Well, you made it work because,
Thanks.
even though he was this kind of geeky, passionate guy, you kind of rooted for him.
Thank
You
you.
wanted
Good.
everybody to show up,
Good.
during that scene for
Thank
high
you.
school. But I don't know if you had somebody like Leon at your high school, or would you have been friends with him?
I think I was. No, I mean, I was kind of him. No, I mean, like, I was, like, there was a gang of us, like, because I went to a fine arts high school,
Yeah.
so not a lot of, like, political nerds there. That being said, the debate team is where we all met.
Okay.
And so there was a bunch of us, and all of us had our various platforms for saving Canada and changing
Right.
Canada and changing the world. And one of my friends since he was 15, has been a card-K member of the Liberal Party of Canada and continues to be, and I'm convinced that Alexei Konjayev will be Prime Minister of this country at some point. So I do feel like I went to school with Leon Bronsky, my friend Leosha. Yeah. Yeah, I know that kid specifically.
Good to know that you can be friends with everyone.
Yeah,
right?
I try my best. Try my best.
And did you know anything about Trotsky, or did you pick up anything that maybe perhaps you fit into your character a little bit?
I mean, I read Animal Farm. And I knew the line from the Stranglers song, and I know that he got stabbed with an ice pick, and that was about it, And then Jacob, is just a walking encyclopedia of all things Bolshevik. So he helped me a lot with that. But and then for me, the real Trotsky informed my character in terms of like physicality and posture. I made a point of watching how Trotsky gave speeches, because he was quite a brilliant orator, and so I tried my best whenever I'm giving kind of soapbox speeches to carry myself the same way and to gesture the same way he did. And there's subtle little things that I don't know if anyone will notice, but I'm definitely doing a very literal impression of him saying things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things, I spoke with Jacob and Emily, and the word family kind of comes up with the shooting environment that you had. And one of the things I think is great about your career is that you kind of pop in and out of big movies and small movies. So, is that conscious for you?
Well, it's not conscious in that I want to do big and small movies. It's conscious in that I do the movies I like to do. Like I have to. Cat food doesn't buy itself, and my mom's rent doesn't pay itself, and all that. So you gotta, work a living and all that stuff.
Oh, you're a nice boy.
Well, that's what it's there for. But the other side though is that like I am truly a patriot, and I think we live in the greatest country on earth. And I say that with my tongue nowhere near my cheek, like. my granddad was in the very first UN peacekeeping mission in Cyprus. I come from generations of people that have served this country, so I truly love this. So to work at home and to sort of to do my part to get kids to fall in love with their culture and to go see their own movies again, it's like, yeah, no, I'll never leave. This is my home. I'll make movies in Canada till they tell me to stop.
And then being an actor, you can kind of do a bit more, don't you think?
I'm trying. Well,
you carry this whole film.
Well, thank you. My dream, best case scenario is that maybe kids that maybe recognize me from Knocked Up or Tropic Thunder or something like that. Maybe they'll dig that and go see this movie and get tricked into seeing a Canadian movie, because it shouldn't be like taking their vitamins. They should just go see movies they want to see, And I think that we got to start putting butts in the seats, and I think this movie's the one to do it.
Absolutely, and I think that's a brilliant plan. And kind of stepping with the bigger things coming up for you. The Sorcerers Apprentice. Come on, can you tell me anything about that? Like, what can we expect?
Well, I'm sure a lot of it's been reported ever since we drove a Ferrari into the restaurant in Times Square, but I'll say this: it's going to be the coolest movie ever. It's insane. It is truly a summer movie. It's got everything, and I really, really think it's going to be the friggin' cat's ass.
Well, can't wait for that. That's one of the big upcoming things. And who was driving that Ferrari? Was that you?
No, it was me. They're going to let me drive the friggin' Ferrari. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to sell that poor bugger out.
Okay. Good enough, fair enough. And what's going on with Jay and Seth versus the apocalypse? Is there any movement on that, or what's the story?
Well, Seth and Evan are knee deep in $100 million crazy movie right now, and then Evan and I have this hockey movie that we're trying to get going at Lagoon, and I figured, I guess I gave an interview that came back to bite me in the ass. I told MTV that I thought we'd be making it within the next year, and then they asked Seth, and he said that was crazy. So I'm ready to go when they're ready to go. So, but
it's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time. They got to finish this huge $100 million superhero movie. Then we make our little hockey movie up here, and then we probably do Jay and Seth. Yeah.
So are you writing more?
Well, that's all I'm doing, yeah.
And do you want to direct?
That's all I want. No, I'll quit this crazy job very, very soon and just write and direct low-budget horror movies in Montreal for the rest of my life.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank
it was
you
a pleasure
so much.
to meet you.